Indianapolis Public Schools releasing the much anticipated details today on its plans for the future of high schools in the district.
Yeah, the district's recommendations could lead to the closing or changes to Arlington, Broad Ripple, Northwest, and John Marshall high schools beginning with the 2018-2019 school year. So here's what we've learned about the proposal. Arlington and Northwest would each become a middle school for 7th and 8th graders. Broad Ripple would be sold with a potential sale price of $6 to $8 million. John Marshall was already going to be a middle school this fall. Beyond this next school year, the district is looking for another practical use with the help of the Glick Family Foundation, they say, the city and other partners.
So the district wants Arsenal Tech, George Washington, Crispus Attucks, and Shortridge high schools to stay open. The administration also has recommended that students' home addresses would not dictate which schools they go to. Instead, they would choose one of the 4 high schools based on their interests and which school has what to offer. So we have team coverage on this story tonight. Elizabeth Choi is live with how the community is reacting to today's announcement.
Yeah, but we'll start with Tim McNicholas. One of the biggest impacts from the proposal is the plan to close and sell Broad Ripple High School, as we just mentioned. And Tim, you spoke with some people who would be affected by this change.
Yeah, Phil, Broad Ripple High School is full of history. It's the alma mater of David Letterman and a string of pro athletes. Some people say the story should not end anytime soon.
Yeah, this was your varsity game.
I got a good one right here, man. Dunking backwards.
The Turner family is big on tradition.
This was like a real family bond moment.
Evan and Aaron just finished their freshman year at Broad Ripple High School.
Being a Rocket is just like life in our house.
Their dad, James, graduated in '94. All 3 of them Rocket basketball players.
I was planning to stay at Broad Ripple until my senior year, and now...
Tell them why.
Because it runs in the family.
That tradition is over if IPS approves a plan to sell Broad Ripple High School. The Turner kids would be forced to choose another IPS school for their junior year. It's a choice they don't want to make.
My reaction is devastating. I'm thinking of the children in the community. I think that those decisions that they made to close the school was not in the best interest of kids, more in the best interest of dollars.
IPS administrators say operating just 4 high schools will save $7 million every year. They plan to pour the money into the remaining schools. An IPS spokesperson says IPS will decide any personnel changes after the board votes in September.
My freshman year was really fun.
The Turner kids say they've already developed a bond with their teammates and coaches.
Being a Rocket is just inspirational. Like, it makes you want to try your best, academic-wise, sports-wise, any career type-wise, like theater. It just makes you want to go for the best.
The magnets that we got there, like dance and performing arts, if you move them to a different school, it's not going to be taken as serious.
The Turners say they're not done making memories at Broad Ripple High School. It's one thing they all agree on.
Who's the best basketball player between the 3 of you?
Me.
Me. Me.
James Turner says he plans on speaking up at school board meetings over the next couple months. IPS is planning meetings at all of the affected schools through July and August. IPS declined our request for an on-camera interview today. Live in Broad Ripple, I'm Tim McNicholas, 24-Hour News 8.
Hey, Tim, one quick question. Do the kids have any idea what schools they plan to go to if the plan is approved?
You know, Phil, they say they haven't had too much time to talk about it. They say at this point they have no idea, but they did tell me that they can't picture themselves anywhere but Broad Ripple High School.
All right, Tim McNicholas live near Broad Ripple High School for us right now. Tim, thank you. Meanwhile, Broad Ripple High School has several notable alumni. Among them, David Letterman graduated in 1965. Roosevelt Colvin graduated in 1995. And George Hill graduated in 2004.
So Broad Ripple is the only school that IPS plans to sell. 24-Hour News 8's Elizabeth Choi joins us now from the heart of Broad Ripple. And Elizabeth, what are the plans for the school once it's sold? Do we even know?
Brooke, right now that's anybody's guess. We know that Broad Ripple is full of unique businesses, stores, restaurants, and bars, for example. Some are speculating that they think apartments, some kind of housing will go up where Broad Ripple High School is. But again, it's still far too early to tell. What I can tell you is that IPS plans to sell the high school for $6 to $8 million. The school's been around since 1886. But due to declining enrollment, the district says they plan to close it down. It's a decision that many are not on board with.
I feel sorry for a lot of the students. You know, where are they going to go next year? And kids who are sophomores and juniors and freshmen, you know, where do they go? What do they do? What's the timetable? So it'll be interesting to see.
Now, the district's maintenance building located off of 16th Street near the North Split, IPS plans to sell it also somewhere between $3 and $5 million. The district also plans on refurbishing 3 of the schools. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from area businesses and what their hopes are for Broad Ripple High School. But for now, live in Broad Ripple, Elizabeth Choi, 24-hour News 8.
Elizabeth, thank you. Leaders of IPS say making these changes would save the district millions of dollars in operations and maintenance costs. Again, this is all just a proposal at this point. School board members are expected to vote on the recommendation in September. In the meantime, community meetings will be held in July and August, so the community has a chance to voice their opinions.